Let's walk through our typical process of working with new clients.
A lot of alcohol, old man.
It's also good this model is also working.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello, I'm Kos. I'm CEO and founder of Artkai. I'm on the call with my co-founder and our chief design officer, Art. If you see this video, you're probably visiting our website just right now, or one of our partnership manager has sent you this link to actually uncover some things of how we work and how we do certain collaboration engagements. So today's topic, Art, can you tell what we're going to uncover today?
10 questions about working with a development agency. This is the most common questions we receive during the calls with our clients.
Yeah. So, it's something that many of our colleagues have to answer, and we know that they definitely are important to any client, and we think that we should just condense it to a certain short video to uncover all things that's kind of can increase, uncertainty or anxiety. So you're going to see how we work and what is the proper way to establish collaboration with an agency like Artkai.
Yeah, so one of the most common questions is about us, the founders, and our journey and how we came up with the idea of Artkai. So it started more than 9 years ago. In Ukraine, we were working with Kos together for a while as a creative pair in digital agencies, working for huge clients like Lipton, Mini, Finlandia, Jack Daniels.
A lot of alcohol, old man.
Then I decided to create a design agency and focused on design. And almost immediately, I invited Kos, my mate, to work together as a creative director and main salesperson in the agency.
Yeah. We did a lot of pitching when I used to work in advertising agencies. So I guess this talent, something that helped us to establish our own business. But mainly, we've been always working in digital, and we like doing projects that actually can speak to users. And from day one, we were focusing on customer needs, and so that's something that separates us from many digital agencies out there. So we definitely do a lot of engineering, and our engineering department has grown a lot more than design department over the years, and currently we have more than 100 people on staff. But definitely design is something that separates us when we're talking about actually building certain software. So it's always about customers. It's always about matching it with the business needs through experience. That's something that we really stand for. So maybe we can start.
Actually, Kos started to answer the first question. It's what makes our company and our approach stand out. This is, of course, first of all, design. We're trying to establish like all the projects starting from the whiteboard. We do a lot of research. We talk to users. We talk to all stakeholders and trying to create a product that satisfy needs of all stakeholders and users.
Yeah, that's something that, we consider it as the key message in our positioning. Generally, we concentrate on 3 industries. It's financial products, so all kinds from like investments to money transferring, different kind of trade fi applications, so everything you can imagine. We do a lot of things in Web3. We started working in this like when it used to be on the crypto industry back in the days, around only Bitcoin. And now we do all kinds of DeFi projects around tokenization, NFTs, and everything around that. And we also help quite a bunch of well-established businesses who want to either digitalize their operations or create new revenue streams digital, including marketplaces, ERPs, CRM. So they understand certain industries from zero to hero, and they know what things could be upgraded to disrupt it in a way, and we help to achieve it.
And I would like to add about our fintech expertise that we one of our first clients. It's a big German bank group that is operating in 14 countries, and we work with them almost from first days of Artkai is established. We started to work together because they needed design expertise. They had an amazing bank, a lot of good clients, but all the development was done by developers, and design was a weak part of this client. And we started with a small job. It was a website for their, I would say, IT department. But then we start to do all the things, starting with ATMs, mobile banking, web banking, intranets, etc. And actually, this is why they hired us.
So why do founders decide to outsource these days? There are definitely a lot of issues that any business have, a lot of challenges, and if they do anything tech related, they always face similar problems. So they might already have a well-established team and it does certain amount of work, but there is always something extra that they need to create. And there are two ways to actually do it. You can either hire certain people to your team, and that's something that can increase risk for a business because it's additional payroll, and definitely it's really expensive, especially if you do it in countries like USA, for example, or Western Europe. Or you can hire an agency or like a service company to fulfill that need. So the key, I would say, value in this regard is that you have flexible team like resource allocation that you can actually get, and so you can always be sure that the team that you hire will have certain expertise because you can see their previous case studies, you know how much time and effort they would spend a certain thing, and you can actually finish the engagement pretty easily, but definitely according to your agreements. So that's something that's let's say appealing to the majority of companies, and definitely there are a lot of things that comes after that. So you might need certain plug and play treatment in particular parts of your app. For example, we have a lot of engagements who are just about redesign. So in this case, Art and his team of designers can help a lot, especially if the team is only focused on the engineering part, the coding. So, and they have no idea how to do something that would be more appealing to the end customer. That's another case. Or they might need certain expertise in particular industry. So, for example, the company has been working always in fintech, but they want to create certain part for HRs, and so they need to investigate it, and they also need it as quickly as possible. And finding resources in-house would take a lot of time, and attracting an agency would save the time and would probably also save a lot of money if you do the things right.
I would like to add that there is a famous concept about holy trio, like hustler, hipster, hacker. It's if you want to launch a new product, you need these three roles in your team. Hustler, it's someone who knows the business, who knows the market, who knows the problems that exist on the niche. And then there's another roles. It's hacker, someone who can code, who can develop, and hustler, hipster, who can create fancy things that people like, someone who understands the users. So it's a designer. And quite often clients outsource because they're good hustlers. They know the problem, they know the issue, they know what they want to solve. And we are usually or hipsters or hackers, or we do both. We develop and design and help client to focus on this business part and take all engineering things to our side.
Yep, that's the right way to put it. So if you're talking about entrepreneurs who are launching something, definitely this is more about what's our tool. So what I was telling is more about more established businesses who already have certain success, but they understand that they can reach more. There's like no limits, and agencies is one of the tools you can use to obtain this competitive advantage in terms of speeds, in terms of capacity, and so on.
I believe that it's also good this model is also works for established businesses because when you want to launch something, you need a intrapreneur, someone inside the company who wants to improve the product, to make something new, to make something more efficient. So this entrepreneur, he can be a hustler, and we can be his hacker and hipster team.
Yeah, absolutely. How this correlates, and what criteria helps you to decide if it's your client or not? So this is a really good question. So it's something that's I would say more focused on our insights work, and so definitely all agencies, all companies who provide professional services, they have a certain playbook that they use to get the clients they want to work with, and clients they actually can bring a lot more value. And it could be different things. So there's a classical sales scoring system that is called BANT. So it's budget, authority, time, need, and time. And it's something that I would say help to identify if the client is the right fit for your particular scale or skills. There is a famous book by David Meister, who tells that there are like three different types of service companies who provides really high-end work. I would say more based on just the experience on similar work, and where you just hands. And so you need to understand in which area you are in, and there are certain rules of how you should acquire clients and what kind of clients would be willing to go to you. This is something that Art has been quoting to me a lot of times, and I totally agree with the way it actually structures work process and sales process.
Yeah, and of course, we always eager to work with someone who has an expertise in their niche, that they know their clients, and this is help us to build a proper product that solves problems.
Yeah, that's again really important. I know that Y Combinator has a rule to actually accept in their batches people who have experience in certain niche. And definitely when they work with entrepreneurs who create startups, it's something that's paramount. So if they understand accounting, or for example sports marketing, and they want to disrupt the industry, we know that it's going to be a successful product because they blend it with our expertise of actually discovering certain insights and then delivering the solution. And this is something that has a lot more potential for success. Definitely, there are certain things around marketing, the state of the market in general, but this is the perfect combination that needs to be in place, meaning that the expertise or in certain niche of the founder and the tech team that will be actually realizing this particular idea to the market.
Let's walk through our typical process of working with new clients.
So it definitely depends what the client needs. So generally, if to put things really in a simple way, as I was mentioning, many companies just seek additional resources and have a flexibility in plugging them in and unplugging them. So in this case, staff augmentation is the model you choose, and it's really plain and simple. So when we get a certain request in this model, we understand that we need to find certain engineers, designers, project managers according to the role. We agreed to with the clients, and we also get a sense of idea of what kind of projects those people will be delivering. And then we do the magic and match them either with our already in-house people who might be available in certain period of times, unfortunately to us, or they might be sourced from the market. So in this case, we will just search for certain talents. We will have a set of interviews, technical, non-technical, and understand that they fit the client, show them to the client, and then we do the magic and house those people in our team and make sure that the client is happy with the delivery they do. But all management on the client side. So in this case, we are not digging too deep into what the client does, but we still try to deliver the best possible service in terms of our engineers or any other technical specialist, account management, and the rest services that might be provided. And there's another type of collaboration, which is more like value-based when we do certain projects for our clients, and they have the start or starting date, they have the finish date. Sometimes it's like indefinite, but the key difference is that we deliver the project under our management, and our management will have delivery meetings, we'll have demos to our clients, and so we provide our expertise in this case.
Another type of projects, it's my favorite one. It's when we do the project from scratch, from whiteboard to market, and we try to understand business needs. It's like a 3 pillars of design thinking: business needs, user needs, and feasibility. We can develop this kind of product, and most of the product we can develop. Yeah,
there is a second type of engagement, which is more about project-based collaboration, when we assemble a full team with our management, and in this case we commit to deliver certain results to our clients. So in this case we do a lot of things by the book to make sure that we have a proper initial scoping with our clients. We use design thinking methodologies. We can use a lot of like tools and exercises to properly understand what would be the end game for the client in terms of the backlog, in terms of software architecture, customer journey mapping, to make sure that the end solution will be properly used by the customer. But the key case that we commit to certain results in a certain time frame, according to the backlogs that we together create with the client, and according to our expertise and the market trends, competition, and so on. So what about project planning? So I guess that's, if I were giving you a TED talk, I would say that communication is king. So this is something that's like paramount when you work with a lot of stakeholders. A lot of people are involved in production of certain software, and I'm like absolutely agree with it. So the key thing in our case that we all work remotely with our clients, with the team that's in Artkai, and we need to have certain set of protocols that help us to achieve this consistency in delivery and predictability. This is something that all clients value. They need to understand what should be done, when it will be finished, and who will be doing the work, who will be reporting. So this is something that is key to make sure that our expectations are aligned. And when expectations are aligned, it means that we can have a proper satisfaction in the end of the day, if everything goes according to the plan. So definitely we have certain like documentation that we prepare for our client, like project initiation. So our sales team, after the communication with the client and estimation, provides it to our project management, so they know with whom they will be working, what kind of project they're building, or stakeholders on client's team. And our project managers prepare the kickoff meeting, which is the joint like gathering for all people involved in production, when they can get acquainted and I would say test the chemistry between each other. And they also prepare documentation like RATSO matrix, when they also understand who will be responsible for certain things, and who will also be reporting to them on certain like case studies, and how will be escalation done. So we were always focusing on proper client service, primarily because we do the work often near shore, often even offshore, like overseas, and we understand that the quality of service is something that helps us to stand out, because you can find a lot of engineers, designers over there, but if you do proper service, you can make sure that the client stays with you for a while. So one of the things we've been always doing to ensure it on every position could be like an example of our test task for designers. So Art was giving a task to create a dashboard for a project management tool, which actually helps to communicate with the client. And that task would show how a designer thinks about client problems, what kind of research they do, how they understand which things are essential and should be prioritized, and which are, I would say, could be like on third page, or not that important. So in this case, we have shown the people we were hiring that client is really important, and that you need to understand their needs, pains, and what they want to achieve. And this is something that has been always helping us to obtain a long-term relationship with our customers, and become more like than client-vendor a relationship, but more like a partner relationship.
Yeah, I would say that during this assignment we have several interviews, and the final one, it's test work, and designer present this test work, and we ask designer about client needs. And this is very crucial moment when we understand if designer is really good, if he has the skill of empathy, because when you design this project management system for client to check the status of the project, you need to understand fears of the client, and every client fear is budget, timing, and quality. And if we can solve these three fears with our system, when designer shows that, okay, I designed this budget management part of the system, or it's a roadmap of the product, and divided into sprints and the task, and the client understand every minute what kind of task we will do and what next, or I created a folder with all designs and iterations and changes of the backlog, so client can understand what has been changed, and if we are stick to the timing and budget. So this is a crucial part for us to understand the client, and also to understand the designer's level, and also show them that we really care about the client and their needs.
So what are the top 3 tips I would give for effective communication with, like, when the client goes to an agency? So I guess that the first thing would be to make sure that you commit to this communication, because there will be a lot of questions. A lot of things might feel obvious, but they are really important, again, to align those expectations. When they are aligned in a proper way, it will mean that everyone will be satisfied with the results, or at least the chance for that will be much higher than if you do otherwise. So the second would be choose the right channels for communication. So definitely there are like certain like industry standards, like having Jira or Slack, Google Suite, but sometimes our clients, for example, want to have more communication in messengers. So this is something that can help on non-project work, and would be a completely catastrophe if you do project management inside of WhatsApp or Telegram, primarily because it would distract people. You won't have proper task management inside, and something that's probably going to lead you to certain things that will be like forgotten, and definitely for a big disappointment in the end of the day. And I guess that the third thing would be to make sure that your vendor or like agency has project management, especially if you do this project-based work, because it will ensure that you have a person you can always go to and ask what is happening, and tell if you're not satisfied with something, and make sure that you have a lot better control on what's happening with your idea and how it's realizing right now. Sometimes people forget and give tasks in Messenger. Sometimes people don't have project management and they just ask to have direct access to the team, and they forget that those people can do their craft really good. I mean, like writing codes or designing certain things, but you won't have a sense of how it can be all united in one solution. And those things are really important, and it will definitely help you to increase chances for success.
Yeah, I would add that it's also very important to have this sync calls in the beginning of the project to discuss every possible things. We have a list of questions we need to answer before we start to develop and design things. And of course, it's time consuming in the beginning, but then most of our clients say that it's magic to work with us because we can deliver amazing designs, products with minimal involvement of client. Like every 2 weeks, you receive a demo of the project, and it's cover all the needs of business users, and it's competitive because we do always this competitive analysis before the project, and it just helps clients to focus on their work when we do design development.
The last question would be about PRD challenges. So what are they and how do you handle them? You know, like project requirement documentation is a wide topic. So I can't say you can actually put it in a couple of minutes to uncover it. So there are certain things that's, again, worth mentioning. So the PRD document is essential as a single source of truth, again, and this aligning of expectations, something that I was mentioning before. And I would say there are two main problems with this particular part of project development. So they sometimes like too vague, or sometimes they're too detailed. So both things doesn't help team a lot because if you give too much details, it's really hard to understand which things are really important. If you don't give too much details, you can actually miss certain things that are really essential for this particular developments that you plan to execute. So the key thing in this case is to make sure that the agency you work with, they have certain set of rules, again, protocols, like checklists that they can apply, and you can ask about them, how they're going to help you to create this PRD. So it could be, again, a discovery session that they conduct together with you, and the roles will be separated. So designers will do their certain research on the users. Business analysts will do the work with you and with your competitors to understand how it could work on similar solutions. Software architecture team will do their part on actually understanding what kind of integrations you will need, and it should be also well documented because you need to plan it. You will need to understand what kind of engineers you will need to do it. Same goes for like test scenarios. Same goes for project management. Again, how you're going to slice it into sprints, into phases with the releases, and do the proper work on actually compiling the whole thing in one plan. So those things are something that shows the level of agency and how much problems they had in future in terms of learnings, and how they actually can apply it to make sure that the engineering of your particular idea will be as smooth as possible.
Yeah, I would add that for me personally, the best way to create a PRD is to start with a workshop with the client, like 2-3 days workshop, where together we create a customer journey map of potential users, where we prototype together with the client on a paper some interfaces, and we are trying to imagine this future product, to create this vision concept of the product. Then we brainstorm all together features that can be in this project, and then all together discuss and priority of these features, and make this prioritization matrix of effort and impact of each feature. And then we have a list of features, and we create like a simple clickable prototype. It's like very low fidelity, but you can understand the idea behind the project, and this is a really good start for PRD, because sometimes clients, they trying to write down from the very beginning all possible cases, scenarios, and it's like a huge massive project with a lot of unnecessary features. So I would say that PRDs should start small, like a simple vision, concept, discovery document, and then during the project evolve and become more sharp and bigger and detailed.
Yeah, so I guess that's again, I should tell that it depends. It's the favorite saying of any product manager or product designer, because if you actually know what you want to do, probably you're not even watching this video. So you already have a certain set of rules how to create PRDs and make sure that the vendors you go to will deliver. But if you do anything like for the first time, or it's something that's you've been always doing internally, and you already have balanced process or how to handle it, so definitely you should take it into account and do those small steps to make sure that you don't overwhelm with something huge from day one.